Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Living Lavish podcast with us today.
When it comes to success, we're all working to get there, but many times we're not sure exactly how to get there.
On this show, our goal is to cover a variety of different issues and situations that many young people encounter in their daily lives so that you, the listener, can be successful. I'm your co-host, Jadon Lane, and alongside me are my friends Jeromy and Jacob Stacy.
And today, we hope to get you one step closer to living the lavish life you deserve.
Okay, so Jeromy, tell me how your quarantine journey has been so far.
Man, this has been an interesting couple of weeks. I will say that I was quarantined one other time earlier this summer, and I didn't have a lot going on. It was just work, and so when I couldn't go to work, that was pretty terrible. But I've stayed busy throughout this quarantine, um, and so in that sense, it's been pretty good. But it happened so suddenly, like we were about to record an episode, right? And then it was just like so many things went wrong
Yeah,
all at the same time.
from you having to go to quarantine to guests canceling on us to, you know, everything else in between.
Yeah, it was like that. Let's see. We were trying to record that Friday. I can't remember what Friday that was. It doesn't even matter. But Wednesday, we found out that we couldn't have an expert on the show. And then, like, less than an hour later, our special guest had a conflict and couldn't be on the show. And then Thursday afternoon, I got the text from my daughter's school saying, "Hey, come pick up all the third graders because they have to be quarantined now," which basically means you have to be quarantined now. So we went from having a pretty good plan to having nothing at all.
It's weird. It's almost like a pandemic is not the best time to start a new project. I don't know.
No, it's definitely been tough, but we're making it work, and that's why we're doing this episode, which is going to be a mini episode of Living Lavish, the how-to podcast. And like Jeromy alluded to earlier, we were going to talk about success, defining success, how to maintain success, and how to perceive success in the right way. But today we're going to talk more about, our success is going to be, even though Jeremy's in quarantine and Jacob's in quarantine as well, and I'm, at home and we're all separate, we're all still coming together, and we're going to talk for a few minutes. So, Jacob, tell me what you think about, you know, even whenever things don't go your way, if you're not dealt, the best hand, just how do you move forward and, have a positive attitude?
Yeah. So, I've actually, obviously, I've been thinking about this subject for a while because we've been in a long season here in 2020 of like, man, things really seem not to be going anyone's way. Like, not even just my way. Things just seem to be, like keep messing up or keep going wrong. So, I don't know. To me, I think it's all about your attitude, man. I mean, like, even pre 2020 and all the crazy stuff going on, we still had days, we still have times when things didn't work out, didn't go the way we thought they should. And honestly, I think your perspective and your attitude going into it, like 100% determines the outcome. Like literally everything can go wrong, but you could still choose to have a good day. Like it really is a choice. Now it's I definitely don't think it's an easy choice all the time. It's really easy to to get down, and I think it's okay definitely to be upset and to work through when you're having those feelings of like, gosh dang it, man, like nothing is going my way. I literally can't accomplish anything. I think it's healthy to work through those thoughts and those emotions, but at the same time, it's like just bust it, man. Like things are gonna go wrong, but like keep looking up. It's gonna go your way the next day maybe or the day after that, but stopping I think is the worst thing that you can do. Letting your emotions overtake you and deciding like, well, I'm just going to keep waiting until it's the right time. I think we learned in our episode about procrastination that Waiting definitely doesn't help, and if you're waiting for the right time, it's never going to come. So I definitely think it's just about just pushing through and not trying to wait for the perfect moment, because if you do, it's not going to come.
Right. So basically, the way you feel about it is having a positive attitude, through the ups and downs, even whenever things don't go your way. That's how you get through things like this.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think like we all feel sometimes, and kind of like we already said, um, you're gonna be down sometimes. Like some days you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be like, bro, I don't want to get out of bed. Like let alone go accomplish the things I was supposed to accomplish today. But if you look to the brighter side and think about the things that could go right rather than focusing on the things that could go wrong, I mean, your day's gonna turn out a million times better.
What do you think about that, Jeremy?
Well, yeah, so just to kind of add on to what Jacob's talking about, because I completely agree. Um, I've I've had instances in my recent past where when things go really wrong, I just kind of shut down. And then I've had instances like the last couple of weeks where I'm like, okay, I guess everything that can possibly go wrong is going to go wrong right now, but I have to find a way to make it work. So I definitely 100% agree with that. But I think another really important aspect of um, this situation is having people around you that are going to push you to keep moving forward, whether or not they're in the same situation. So just as an example, like the three of us right now, um, I think that um, the three of us working together on this is going to make it better in the long run. I think it would have been really easy for us to say, man, we have literally a month and a half left in this semester, and we were trying to get four more podcasts done, but now we're all separate and we can't do this. So it'd be easier to call it quits. Jadon, it would have been easier for you to um, use the studio on campus because you're not quarantined. You could go and you could do your own thing. I could find some way to do something on my own, and Jacob, you're here for the fun of it. So if you didn't want to do this, if it got too hard, you could just be like, peace out. I'm not, like, why stress about this? But um, I think that there's value in sticking together and finding a way to make it work as a team. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
I think that we could have taken, I like you said, I could have taken the easy way out and done something else on my own. But I enjoy doing this podcast with y'all, and even though it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, and like I said in the procrastination episode, I'm like a perfectionist, and this isn't the type of podcast that I wanted this to be, or at least this episode. But we're having to deal with it, and we're having to make it work, even though it's not per se up to my standard. Because I like to have a guest, and I like to have everybody has good quality audio, but sometimes it just doesn't work out like that.
yeah, and I'll be honest, like the way that it has played out with what we're doing, like I'm okay with what we're doing right now, but like I know that along the way we've had some, like, I guess, polite disagreements with each other on what to do, because like, man, that Friday I was like, we don't have anything there, we can't lose anything else, let's just record something even if it doesn't do anything, like, and so, like, when you weren't fully on board with that, I was kind of upset about it. But now, in the situation that we're in, I'm glad that you pushed me to wait a little bit longer, because of that, we're recording something better than it would have been in the first place. And so, like, that just kind of brings back the point of, like, it's better for us to be working together, because if we're making decisions on our own, my decision could be way more rational if I have someone saying, hold on, take a step back. We can make this better if we wait a couple of days, if we wait a week, if we find some better resources. We can make this work and we can make it better and still accomplish the same things. It just may not be in the time frame that you want, Jeremy.
Right, and talking things out, like just the communication in itself, just being able to communicate, and choosing to communicate even whenever you could just not look at your phone and not reply or whatever. That that helps the situation a lot.
Right.
So Jacob, Tell us about your quarantine journey.
So I've been on like, oh gosh. So I think the word quarantine right now is like is super funny because it means something different to like every person, and it's like, yeah, I'm quarantining, and it's like, oh, so you stay at your house? And it's like, well, yes, but I still have to do some things, like you have, obviously we're answering to bosses and things like that. So I haven't been like officially quarantined, since it was kind of like, I was around Jeromy, so it was like second second hand exposure kind of thing, and so
Right.
like,
You weren't directly exposed.
right, and it was and the thing is like, was Jeromy even exposed? Who knows? Like, so feeling our way through through expectations right now is really difficult, as you guys, as everyone knows, because expectations are all over the place depending on who you're talking to. So I haven't really been on like official quarantine. I've been going to work, and things like that. Obviously, like social distancing, wearing a mask and stuff like that when I'm in public. Um, but yeah, so super super weird. Like trying to think through, like, okay, is this thing? I'm trying to think of a specific example of, like, like, oh, should I be doing this thing or should I not? Um, so like, like even like going to church on Sunday mornings, I'm like, yeah, like I serve on a couple of different teams, like, volunteering on Sunday morning. So it's like, should I go? Like, I have a responsibility because I committed to these things, but like maybe not, since like I'm maybe supposed to be quarantining, but like no one's officially told me that, and I don't have any symptoms. So yeah, I'm just kind of like feeling things out as I go. And as of right now, I think, what, Jeremy, you have like 2 more days of quarantine or something.
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day.
Tomorrow's the last day. Okay, yeah, so cool. So I guess, I mean, if you're fine, then I'm definitely fine, because you're like, being around your family was the reason that I was quarantined. So, or quote quarantined. So confusing. If I had to sum it up in one word, I would say confusing.
Right. And it's good to hear that even though you know, you weren't you weren't even exposed directly, and who knows if Jeremy even was, but it's good to know that, you've been being safe and wearing your mask and being socially distant during the time. For me, I am the the only group member here that is not in quarantine right now. And so I've been talking to, my professor in this class, trying to figure out what the best course of action is at this point. And this is the alternative that we came up with for this week, which is, long distance podcasting, which is, like we've already said before, not ideal, but we're going to succeed anyway. And that's, the point of this episode is how to be successful even though you're not in the best situation or circumstances. Is there anything you guys want to say?
No, I just want to say that people out there that may be listening to this, I hope that this is kind of inspiration to them, even if it's not really, that enjoyable to listen to, maybe because of quality or because we're just kind of having a conversation. There's no like big agenda for this episode, but like if you're in a situation where like life has got you knocked down right now, find somebody that's willing to push you forward and just keep going, just keep doing it, because eventually you're gonna learn a lot right now while you're down, and then when you get into a situation where you are set up to do things really really well, you've already gone through the hard part, and then you can make some really excellent content, or you can do some really great things with what you learned while you were down.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy. Real quick, I want to point out some irony. When you were trying to tell us that that our audio wasn't great, your mic cut out for like a second.
Stop it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think, with that, I think one last thing I would say is like, um one thing that one thing that kind of came to my mind. I've actually had some of these type of conversations with a couple of friends, just in like raw conversation. And I think an important thing to realize, if you're one of the people who are like, dang man, like I have bad luck, like I just have really bad luck and nothing ever goes my way and I'll never be able to do anything because like I have bad luck. I think one important thing to realize is that Like, look at the most successful person you can find. Like, go look online, find the person you think is the most successful, and I guarantee you they have just as many bad days as you do. Like, there's nothing there's nothing special about successful people that we see in the media, online, social media, those kinds of things. Like, there's nothing different about how about the amount of bad and good days that they have. They just choose to keep working and keep pushing towards success even when it's difficult. And I think that's a really key thing to look at. So if you think you have bad luck, I would probably bet you a lot of money that you don't have bad luck. I would bet you that if when you feel like you have bad luck, if you start looking at things that are going right in your life rather than things that are going wrong, you're gonna feel and look more successful.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to find more things that you're grateful for than things that are going wrong.
Yeah.
Even if it feels like there's more things going wrong in your life, just make a list. Write down the good things that are happening and make those good things seem bigger than the bad things. And I guarantee you that's going to change the way that you move forward in a tough time.
Yeah. Perception alone changes your process, I think.
Yeah, perception and looking at things in a positive light. That's in the 17 minutes that we've been recording. That's something that's been reiterated several times. So if you're listening to this and you're in a tough situation and you need a inspiration to keep going, just look at the positive things in life. Look at the things that are going your way. Just keep your head down and your eyes up and just keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So if that's it for everybody, thank you again for listening. Everybody stay safe, wear your mask, stay socially distant. And for me, Jeromy, and Jacob, we will talk to you next time and have a good day.
Awesome.
Later, guys.
See ya.
For the game, chasing that bag of habit to me. Yeah, all my boys wildin', acting savage for me. Yeah, I do this for my slime, ones is bragging major.